Ever had an idea for an epic fantasy story? We have. This is one idea we have partially fleshed out, and we want your help to make it better. The title is Through the Grey Realm. Now we have half-developed world-building notes that we are not going to get into in this video because, let's be honest, it would take up a lot of time. For now, we can start here. In this fantasy world, the forces of darkness and the forces of light are at war, with the human world as the battlefield. The Great Spirit has offered humans new powers and weapons for anyone to take up, train with, and use, if they dedicate themselves to the task. These can only be properly wielded by the truly pure of heart. Every member of our band of heroes wants to protect their people and fight more effectively against the darkness. Guided by the Spirit, this ensemble meets up and begins their quest to reach a sacred oasis, which is located in a place where the division between the human and spirit realms overlap. The divide is rather fuzzy. It's referred to as the Grey Realm. Now, getting to a sacred oasis is a bit of a challenge because our heroes encounter beasts and other evil spirits trying to deter them. But it is still the easier part of the journey. It's getting back to the human realm, where they are tested for purity of heart. To return, the heroes need to battle through 7 separate places/trials. Naturally, this whole story is an allegory for the spiritual life. If you rewatch previous parts of the video, we're sure you can figure out the metaphors. But here's where we definitely want your creativity and help. Those 7 places/trials, each is a symbolic manifestation of one of the 7 deadly sins. How our protagonists come out safely is a metaphor for a virtue. In media, we've seen 7 deadly sins portrayed or embodied like individual people. Think Full Metal Alchemist, or even Gilligan's Island, crazy fan theory right there, or just as like monstrous figures. Think Shazam. We personally have never really seen them represented as a sort of physical environment. Yes, Dante's Inferno kinda does that, but it's more like a representation of the punishment for the sin, not really the sin itself. Here's how we thought each sin would be manifested, but we want your better ideas. Let's go. The trial of gluttony will be quicksand or tar pits. Our heroes must move slowly and deliberately to get out, i.e., the counter-virtue is moderation temperance. Greed. Our heroes need to make the correct type of offering to a creature, maybe a dragon or a sphinx or a griffin, in order to pass through. They start with each person gathering as much of a thing as they can and offering that, but it fails. They succeed when they metaphorically demonstrate the counter-virtue of greed, which is generosity, charity. They realize that they only need one item, and they split it into pieces and offer that. The trial of lust will be a tranquil, tropical beach setting with beautiful siren-like creatures. You touch them, and you die. To beat this one, our heroes use multiple tactics that are metaphorically chastity. For example, 2 characters are husband and wife. They look at each other, hold hands, and therefore pass safely through. The wrath trial is strong, howling winds and really hot fires like true blazing infernos. We thought of this as the manifestation because when we think of wrath, we think of like an angry person, a hot-headed person, if you will, who's yelling really loudly. For sloth, our heroes find themselves amongst a bunch of ruins of half-built buildings. Our heroes need to build steps and ladders to get up, through, and out. Amongst the ruins are humanoid creatures who are trapped there. Some are already or are gradually turning into stone, or they are drifting lazily about and barely respond when addressed and won't help even if they say they will. This trial is conquered by zeal. This will be represented by running around and the protagonists encouraging one another to keep going while making the steps and ladders. The envy trial. You might have heard the phrase green with envy. So we were thinking a swamp setting, hence everything's going to be green, and leeches. We pray you've never been envious, but if you have, you'll know that it tends to suck the joy and happiness out of a situation because you want what someone else has, just as leeches suck your blood. Disgusting. Finally, we have pride. Question: what does pride come before? Exactly, the fall. So for the trial of pride, maybe our band of heroes have to walk on narrow causeways, full of stumbling blocks that are above an abyss. The causeways would probably be iced over too a little bit. The only way to cross safely is with humility, as manifested by the characters holding onto each other and letting others hold onto them, while bending and crouching to traverse the causeways, i.e., being humble and knowing you can't do everything on your own. Now, overall, for Through the Grey Realm, we want to do a lot of trope subversion in our story. This includes the sidekick being the narrator and main character. The message is that in life, you will meet other people who seem more talented, stronger, wiser than you. You may not be the chosen one, but that doesn't mean you aren't important. You have your own trials and skills. Also, it's important to be there for your friends and family when they go through their trials. Now that's enough from us. How do you think we can improve this? And if you have any ideas for plot points, or characters, or world-building aspects you've always wanted to see in an epic fantasy, let us know. We welcome suggestions. We want to hear from you. And if you want to see more great videos that fuse your Catholic faith and your geekiness, then subscribe to Random Catholic Thoughts Geek. Don't forget to like, share, and suggest a topic. May the Lord be with you.